Hello, Dragon Ball Infinity. That is the wrong one. Sorry. Triumph. Oh, there's an H in there. There we go. That can't type and spell. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Hi, DBI. Hi. Doing another roleplay review this time over Natural Triumph Rust Fades. This is Cordio and Rust, which Rust is played by La. And as you guys can see, I just recorded Dance Partners, so now I'm doing this one. And this log, posted October 20th, getting reviewed in December, my bad, is, like I said before, another one of those what I would call breathe space logs, right? However, not that it's breathing between, one log by Rust and Cordio and another one. I think this is more of like a Cordio kind of breathe space where we kind of finish Shard Vale and everything like that. Cordio is now out. They have this new nature magic feeling to them, and they run into Rust. And the reason that I have this statue up here, make myself a little bit smaller, is because that Rust is kind of doing a like a living statue kind of ordeal. And I have to say, of all of the androids that we have ever had on channel, this is probably one of the most unique ones, because it wasn't an android that had anything to do with combat or fighting or anything like that. And for the most random thing, like a living statue, like, who wouldn't be perfect for that? Like, they don't need to move. If you're pure robotics, you can literally just like go like this, turn yourself off, and you're the perfect living statue. You literally are a living statue. And the fact that they are covered in rust, I just thought that was so unique and so fun, right? I don't know how like a character like this could do something like that all the time. It would kind of wear out, unless it was like, he goes and meets Goliath, and Goliath just happens to be walking through the forest, and then all of a sudden it's like, there's a statue here? Like, what is going on? And you just run into, like, Rust just kind of shows up. Like, if you were playing Skyrim and you're walking up the 1,000 steps and you just see Rust just like right there, and you're like, what the hell? And then you're all the way all across the map, and he's like, hey, I'm here now. He could just be like a wandering NPC. I thought that was really fun and really funny. And I also thought it was unique because Cordio now has this like nature kind of magic, and I don't know if it's going to go more like Genesis, where he can like get down to like almost like the molecular level of things. I hope not, because I hope you guys understand, like, if you can undo something's atoms, then you can pretty much undo anything by doing that, right? Like, you could just touch somebody and they disintegrate because you have nature magic. But I did think it was kind of cool, and it would be cool to see him like trying to figure out, like trying to get used to feeling this. So he uses his nature magic on Rust and says like, okay, well, yeah, like, you've got oxidized this, and if you really wanted to break it down and science the shit out of it, you could. And I think, like, for a character like Cordio, who does not really do a lot of physical combat, right? Like, he did have his fight with Shard Vale, but I think for him to keep up and growing in strength without always being involved with these combat logs, I think that's a pretty good way of doing it, right? Of him using his power to figure out, what these materials are. Can they break down? How do they react to, being oxidized and things like that? And really kind of science his way through things. I wouldn't mind seeing Cordio going to like God, what's it called, where they have all the plants, right? and he uses his magic, and he's like, okay, this is this type of plant. It needs, it needs this kind of soil. It needs this kind of pH in the soil. This one's really good in light. You don't need a lot of light for this one. This one's really good in water. You need a lot of water. This one's retained too much water. And him just kind of using, his magic and figuring it out and kind of feeling through it, as like a constant thing, as something to where he's always kind of, trying to develop it and trying to make it better, so that, as an admin, if I read these logs, I'm like, man, he's actually been really training this. He's been doing this a lot. And, while Rust was trying to recruit him into this like acting trope, which I think that would be hilarious. Seeing Cordio using his powers in this basically a circus is what I'm kind of imagining. I think that would be really great. I think that'd be a lot of fun. A Namekian in the circus, and he's making trees grow and vines, or what the trapeze people use, and then oh no, he made the vine go away, they're about to fall, then he makes this this bloom of flowers, and they catch the person, and they or maybe he even makes like constructs out of vegetation. I think that could be a lot of fun. It's one of those powers where you could underestimate it if you want to. It's very unique. It's very it could be very deadly, depending on how you do it. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. And again, I'm kind of highlighting Cordio, but Rust here to me kind of just took it away. It reminded me of when Thousand was kind of going through his like debug phase, and he had these like weird quips of like a computer freaking out because it had all these ads and stuff in it. Like, you guys are getting very creative with these androids and with these role plays, but kind of as it is, what's on page, nothing bad. I have no notes. Any real highlights, I think I've gone over. Like the log was plenty of fun, very Dragon Ball Z, very, very kind of like lighthearted and whimsical, and to be perfectly honest, very 180 from a lot of stuff that Lai has ever put out. I don't think I've ever really seen them have this much fun, right? This just looked like Lai was having a lot of fun. Marvelous, Natural Triumph, Rust Fades, A Wonderful Peace. Like, the name of the log is like the name of the act that he wants to take on the road. And somebody is like, hey, like, don't forget to pay his permit fee. And Cordio basically is kind of like roped into to joining this troop. And it was just fun. It's a good breathe space. It's a good kind of distraction from stuff like For the Empire and everything that's happened with the Silver Whale and like all this really heavy brooding stuff. It's good to do stuff like this. I wish I were a good enough writer to write something like this to where fun happens. Dark, brooding, depressing, I'm your man. Fun, that's all y'all. So good job, y'all. I hope you had fun. It was fun reading it. The rest of you should go out, kind of read this and get caught up with it. And hopefully we see more of this troop. We do see this on the road. And if you guys get a chance to engage with it, have fun. I will see you guys next review.